Now, here's a question that you might be asking, especially after the 2025 BRICS Summit. What is the multipolar world? What is multipolarism? Have you ever wondered about that? And here's another question. Who's afraid of the multipolar world and why? They're harder questions to answer than you think. And I know because they were some of the questions thrown to me in a unscripted interview with Joel Jenkins, who is an Australian writer who has just set up a wonderful Substack, Bogan Intelligentsia, that now also has a YouTube channel, Bogan Intelligentsia, which does interviews with, on the whole, bogan Australians, but also intelligent Australians about all sorts of issues to do with the world. And if you're not from Australia and you don't know what the word bogan means, here's a definition. Joel's new YouTube channel has some fantastic interviews with people like the journalist Amy Rikus. That was his first one only a couple of months ago, and it is an absolute ripper and will give you a lot of insight into what really happened in the last Australian election. Was it a verdict on Donald Trump, or was it about a whole lot of other things instead? Omar Saka, Scott Birchall, the quite well-known international relations scholar, Najati Abdi, who did a fantastic interview about life in Palestine, Cameron Leckie, who is a brilliant writer on AUKUS and defence issues, multipolar world, and reimagining Australia's sort of security into the future. Emma Shortis from the Australia Institute, the quite distinguished scholar of terrorism and international affairs, Greg Barton, and the quite well-known independent journalist Michael West, who I also think has a YouTube channel, so check that one out. And his most recent guest is none other than this Bogan Intelligentsia person, me, Jeff Rich, from the Burning Archive. So do yourself a favour, pause this video now, open up a new tab in your browser or on your phone, and go over to Bogan Intelligentsia in Substack, subscribe there, and also go to Bogan Intelligentsia on YouTube, subscribe there, give Joel some encouragement, boost his numbers of subscribers, because he is producing some fantastic content. And there's links in the video description below, in the pinned comment, and also on screen as I'm talking now, because I am able to use those functions, at least, in DaVinci Resolve. And while you're doing that, let me tell you about what Joel and I talked about in this interview that I did yesterday, and that Joel posted on his YouTube channel today. We talked about multipolarism in simple terms, none of the sort of getting caught up with definitions of is it multipolar or multinodal and all that sort of nonsense. Just really what people are aspiring to when they're talking about the multipolar world. After all, it's a wonderful, beautiful world. We can have lots of approaches to it. We talked about how the multipolar world is different to the bipolar world of the Cold War and the unipolar world of the unipolar moment after 1991. We talked about balance of power arrangements in 19th century Europe after the Concert of Europe, and from the 17th century after the Treaty of Westphalia, the Westphalian world order. You might have heard that term, but you might not have heard the real story that is that I sort of tell about its mythical function in international relations scholarship. We talked about the post-1945 world, and you might, if you follow my YouTube channel, you might have heard me talk about the post-1945 world. I did a video about it recently, and you can check that also in the video description below, and how its history was not at all what people talk about when they talk about the US-led post-1945 world. It was a much more complex, much more diverse, much more conflict-ridden story. In a way, really, the world has always been multipolar. What seems to be happening now, and with increasing rapidity after the BRICS summit and all sorts of events all around the world, the growing powers of China and Russia and India and African countries' more assertiveness and Brazil's greater assertiveness, what we're seeing is the mists are clearing. We've had this fog around us where we've believed that really the world was defined by America and that its rules really did control the world. But those mists are sort of disappearing now. And we're actually seeing the world as it really is, as it really has been forever and a day in history. The world has really always been multipolar, and no greater authority than the Indian External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, has said that the natural state of the world is multipolarity. And, many people say he's the best foreign minister in the world, so that's pretty good advice from him. We also talked about America and Trump and what's going on in American government, and even that weirdo oligarch, Peter Thiel. We talked about India, China, Russia, Indonesia, Australia's northern neighbour, and I learned some surprising facts from Joel about the CIA. And we also had a really fantastic discussion about Russophobia and why Britain hates the Russians so much, the India, Pakistan, China tensions and situation, the United Nations, and the hope many people around the world have that the United Nations can return to its original vision. And I also shared some of my reflections about how I got into this business of talking on YouTube and writing on Substack, and how it all linked back in some ways to the dramatic events in the world in 2022. So to make it easy for you, I have linked Joel's channel and his fabulous interview with me in the video description below. It's also here on screen now and in the pinned comment, so there's lots of ways that you can go over now, watch the video, subscribe to Joel's channel, give his video a like, and check out some of the other great interviews that Joel has done on his YouTube channel. He will appreciate it, I will appreciate it, and I reckon you might learn a little bit more about the perspectives from the bogan intelligentsia of Australia on the multipolar world. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Rich. This is The Burning Archive.